What's good, YouTube? It's Nas and we back with another video. Road to 1,000 subscribers, of course. And in today's video, we're going to talk about the Game 3s of the Eastern Conference and the West semis. And we're going to start off with the Spurs beating the Timberwolves. That game just ended, so I'm recording this right now. And Wemby completely dominated. Like, nobody else really on his team showed up to help him. And we just saw a masterclass out of a superstar, with Wemby having 39 points, 15 rebounds, and obviously 5 blocked shots. And this game was to cement all the doubters, all the people talking about how Wemby is not ready, he has one-sided offensive back. That some of the shit I was hearing after the first 2 games were actually crazy. And Wemby finally has his signature moment in these basically playoffs, because I guess he had one in the Blazers series, but this really was the best performance I've seen out of Wemby in these playoffs. Like, he set the tone going into the paint. He was getting everything to the rim. He was getting to his spots in the mid-range area. The three-point shot started to hit, and when his three-pointer is on, it is really tough to stop Victor Wembanyama. For Christ's sake, he's 7'5" with a ball handle. So what can you do in this situation if you're the Minnesota Timberwolves? And now you lose home court advantage. You're down 2-1 now after, obviously, you having that advantage. And I'm not going to rush and say this series is over, and I'm not going to rush and say that the Timberwolves can come back from this, because when you look at the Minnesota Timberwolves side of things, you got a signature moment out of Anthony Edwards too. Ant had 32 points, 14 rebounds, 6 assists. He had most of that in the first half. He cooled out in the second half. Naz Reid, 18 points, with Julius Randle, Jaden McDaniels, Ayo Dosunmu all having stinkers. Julius Randle had 12 points on 12 shots. That's not going to cut it at all. Jaden McDaniels had 17 points, 5 of 22 from the field. That's not going to cut it at all. Ayo Dosunmu, 11 points on 12 shots. Not going to cut it at all. And you're just seeing that, and you're seeing what's going to happen in this series. You need to hit and make threes. And obviously, Randle went 0 for 3 from the three-point line. Jaden McDaniels, 3 for 8 from the three-point line. Anthony Edwards was 3 for 9, even though he had that fadeaway 3 in the corner, which it didn't count, or it did count, but it didn't matter much to the end of this game. Naz Reid, 4 for 8. Ayo Dosunmu, 3 for 8. Terrence Shannon Jr., 1 for 3. Like, not a lot of stuff you can do if you're not hitting threes against the Spurs team. And the Spurs just showed their physicality. Let's keep it above. These last 2 games, they showed their physicality against the Wolves. And obviously, the refs let them play a lot, because a lot that refs would consider fouls, they weren't foul calls in this game. It just really looked like a hard-fought physical game, and we're one step closer to the conference finals, which we want. The Spurs versus the Thunder, 2 physical teams, 2 great teams, 2 superstar players, and I don't know, but I'm not going to rush and say that this series is over, because the other side still has Anthony Edwards, and the Minnesota Timberwolves are a gritty team. But it just looks like the physicality and the lack of three-point shooting, in which losing Dante DiVincenzo is really hurting the Minnesota Timberwolves, my fault. But just an overall great game from Wemby. De'Aaron Fox, 17 points. You didn't even get a De'Aaron Fox performance tonight. 7 of 19 from the field. Devin Vassell, 13, 6 for 14. Stephon Castle, 13 points, 3 of 11 from the field. You didn't even get your rookie, Dylan Harper, 8 points, 2 for 6. And you still end up winning this game. And that's huge. And I really didn't feel like the Wolves looked too bad. Like, the first 7 minutes of this Minnesota Timberwolves versus Spurs game, it was by far some of the worst it was some of the worst basketball I've ever seen. I'm going to keep it above. Like, they didn't score for 7 minutes. And their first couple buckets were Rudy Gobert buckets. And I didn't even talk about Rudy Gobert, because he had a good game too. Rudy had 13 points, 7 rebounds, 6 of 7 from the field. Just obviously, he has a tough task with Victor Wembanyama when he got his shot going. But I feel like he limits him to as much as you can, if that makes sense. Because Wemby was getting a lot of his buckets when Rudy wasn't on the floor. And that's what I really just noticed. And obviously, the Timberwolves offense is going to pace more without Rudy. But with the defensive end, it's not. Nobody can really stop that 7'5" nigga. Like, we got to be honest with we got to be honest with ourselves when we're talking about the Spurs. And now they're up 2-1. I'm not going to act like I said, I'm not going to act like, oh my God, the Spurs are up 2-1. Their physicality, they're dominating. They played horribly tonight, and they still could have won. I'm not going to say that, because we've seen this Timberwolves team go down so many times and come back. But when you look at honestly, what the Minnesota Timberwolves did tonight is just not going to cut it. And Anthony Edwards finding ways to score off the basketball, it really seems like they looked at film tonight, or film before this game. So you're going to go back in the film room and see what you can do and possibly limit Victor Wembanyama for game 4, and you still have home court advantage. So I don't know, but if I'm a Spurs fan, I am really happy because we didn't play our best basketball either. We just got a dominant Victor Wembanyama performance, and we still won. So I guess that's a great thing for Spurs fans. But next, talking about the New York Knicks versus the Philadelphia 76ers. I'm not gonna even sugarcoat it with you. This shit is raps. Like, Knicks versus Sixers, this series is over. The Knicks are now up 3-0. Nobody has ever came back up or down 3-0. And in a game where Jalen Brunson had 33 points and 9 assists, Mikal Bridges continuing his offensive performances, 23 points. Josh Hart, 12 points, 11 rebounds. Cat not even having a good game, 8 points, 12 rebounds. He was in foul trouble all game again. Landry Shamet was really the spark plug off the bench, 15 points. It was really him coming into the game basically in the second quarter, which made a huge difference. And getting this win with no OG Anunoby is huge because OG gets to rest his hamstring a lot more, and we know with hamstring injuries they can linger, so he was possibly going to play tonight. So you look for OG not to play game 4 most likely and be ready for the conference finals. And when we're talking about the Sixers, on the other side of things, you got Joel Embiid back, and it really didn't cut it. You didn't obviously play your brand of basketball. Paul George's first bad game of these playoffs, in which he started great. He had all his points came in the first quarter. He was absolutely dominating. Like, the clips he was doing, what the fuck? He didn't do this shit since Indiana. Okay, clip 21? I don't know, but Paul George had 15 points, 6 of 18 from the field. Joel Embiid, 18 points, 7 of 17 from the field. Kelly Oubre was the only one out there that was really hooping. 22 points, 8 rebounds. Tyrese Maxey just looks scared. Every time I'm watching the Sixers, I'm like, why is he going for his buckets? I'm confused. Why? But Maxey had 17 points, 7 assists. He's trying to be a true point guard, and I don't see that. I like Maxey scoring the ball and then his scoring opening up the offense, but I guess that's me. DJ Edgecombe, 11 points, 4 of 19 from the 4 of 9 from the field. My bad. And they're on the brink of getting swept. And what Paul George said after the game, said, "Fuck shit, just don't get swept." And that's really the truth to that. And honestly, you're seeing what can possibly happen with obviously the New York Knicks. Their offense looks amazing. Ever since losing or going down 2-1 to the Atlanta Hawks, their offense has been phenomenal. And I've seen all the doubters of the New York Knicks just fade away. And now everybody's picking them to go to the NBA Finals. And that's a really good pick because them and the Detroit Pistons really look like the top 2 teams, and those were the 2 teams that we most likely thought were going to meet in the conference finals, so it's kind of ironic. But y'all let me know how y'all felt about these games tonight, the Sixers versus the Knicks. Y'all let me know if it's going to be a sweep on Sunday. We getting the brooms out in New York. And let me know how y'all felt about the Spurs versus the Timberwolves. Do y'all think the Spurs have the clear-cut advantage now and Victor Wembanyama's dominance? Subscribe. What's good, y'all? If y'all made it to the end of the video, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And there's a video right here. I'm pretty sure you're gonna like it if you like this one. And the channel icon's right there if you want to just check out the channel in general. And yeah, leave a like too, because it really helps the algorithm push me out. And yeah, I appreciate y'all for watching this video nonetheless.